Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Bring It On. Let's return to Dresden victoriously and see what the next steps are for the crusade. I'm assuming the Midnight Fane is going to be the final dungeon, or final section of this act. The resonant voice of the majestic angel rings out through the hushed streets of Drezen. You hear his words from afar. They concealed it right under our noses. Without Xanthir's notes, the incarnation of corruption, even I would not have been able to locate the barrier. Surely the Herald of the Inheritor can rid us of this scourge. Everybody stumbles over her words slightly. It is impossible, righteous one. I cannot do it alone. But wait. Hear the steps of one who brings hope. I am the hand of the Inheritor, Herald of Iomedae the Lightbringer, and I greet you, champion of Golarion. The angel in gleaming gold armor drops to one knee. Please arise. Such displays are unnecessary. Forgive me if I embarrassed you. I see no shame in paying rightful homage to a hero such as yourself. Please also allow me to thank you for saving Targona the Silver-Haired. We thought we'd never see our sister alive again. What brings Iomedae's Herald here? Your deeds and exploits, champion. You've brought hope to these accursed lands. Hope that the demon invasion will finally be stopped once and for all. And I'm here to aid my goddess's chosen one. Does that confirm that I'm Iomedae's chosen one? What did you discuss with Erebeth? This. Angel gestures toward a symbol on the paving stones. Every sanctum held a dark secret. Directly beneath Drezen, in the bowels of the earth, there lies one more bastion of the demons, the Midnight Fane. It is a repository of a mighty rift through which the spawn of the abyss travel to Golarion. The entrance to this place is right in front of us, blocked by a barrier that is accessible only to demons. So, this is where Monago fled to, where all the demons in the city had been coming from. They can pass through the barrier freely, but we can't. It doesn't just stop us. It injures us too. It is much worse than that. The barrier is imbued with enormous power. An attempt to break through will trigger a magical explosion. I could protect you and the city from it. Even my powers would be insufficient to hold back the chaos and open the way. This is what disturbs me most. We cannot allow the demons to rebuild their armies and plot their next attack right below the sacred heart of the crusade. Xanthir Vang told me about this demonic barrier. I encountered similar barriers in Arilu Vorlesh's laboratory. I have a key that can break through the barrier. All you have to do is protect us from the blast. I'm impressed by your many gifts, champion. Together, we shall open the passage and protect the city. And then, we shall burn the Midnight Fane with the cleansing fire of righteousness. But first we must gather our strength. I shall send word to Queen Galfrey. Her help may be necessary when we reach that dark bastion of the abyss. The Queen will heed my call and arrive quickly, within a month. And you must use this time to prepare to attack the Fane. Ivo desperately tries to draw your attention. We need to go now. Call the whole court and all the free crusaders. Just go as soon as they assemble. You can't just sit here waiting for the Queen, good weather, and all the rest of it. By the time you move, the demons will have learned of our plans. They'll be waiting for us and will devour half the world or more. So if Ivo is being serious and telling us we should go, I'm thinking we should probably go. Also, not waiting for the Queen is right up my character's alley. I mean, why would I share glory with the Queen when I can have it all for myself? So Ivo is right. I'm sick of the suspense. Isn't it time we did something the demons aren't expecting? Let's not wait for the Queen. We'll attack the Fane as soon as the free crusaders are ready. Astonishment rings in the angel's voice. No waiting, no planning. Just gather the free crusaders and attack. Yes, but do you think the demons are going to sit quietly while we summon Galfrey, catch up on our sleep, and polish our armor? Every hour this war drags on. innocents are dying, and the enemy is growing in strength. Yet we wait and wait. The demons have ambushed us time and time again. It's time to give them a taste of their own medicine. An angel spreads his wings, brandishing his sword. Yes, now I understand. A special flame burns within you, champion. It has led you to your past triumphs. It will help us in this endeavor also. We will do it your way. Make haste to conclude any other important affairs, champion. I will send word to the Free Crusaders and bring the fight to the darkness as soon as they are assembled. Well, heck yeah. That's exciting. Is the Azada the only path that can do that? I feel like that's a pretty significant change in the story. My watch goes on. Greetings, champion. Look, Golden Man will turn to stone if he doesn't move soon. We need to break this barrier quickly. Call up all the court and attack the demons. Otherwise they'll find out what we're planning and plot all kinds of nasty stuff. Now, what do you think of the Sword of Valor? It has changed under the effects of my powers. The Herald raises a hand. Do not fret, champion. The great relic, given to the world by the Lady Iomade, will continue to serve you, just as it has served all people before now. The Sword of Valor has not lost its protective properties, it has merely changed its design. Some might call it blasphemous, but not I. For the power that changed the banner's design was given to you by Iomade herself. It seems that I caused the Sword of Valor to change. Blood from the wound on my chest fell onto the banner, and... that means this mysterious wound is a mark of valor, given to you by my mistress, setting you apart from all the rest, champion. Are you sure this wound is a gift from Iomade? No, I could be mistaken and unable to perceive the full truth. The Inheritor's thoughts are hidden from me, for I am but her hand. I do not test her will with my doubts, nor crave answers to my questions. I simply trust and serve. I know that if your body had been harmed by malevolent fiends, my goddess would have extended her mercy to you and healed you. Why did the goddess bestow this wound on me? Because this ward of yours, champion, is bleeding. My lady's chosen one carries a crimson mark as a sign of the great suffering borne by mortal kind. Scarlet drops on your breast. They are the blood of all the martyrs and all the innocents. That is how I see it. Can you heal me? Defy my lady's will. It pains me, but I must refuse you, champion. You are suffering from this affliction. It must be part of the Inheritor's design. The pain serves to remind you of the path you must take. I have heard you. Do not allow doubt and fear to enter your heart. My lady will not abandon us. Tell me about yourself and your goddess. I'll gladly answer any questions. Now, what's it like, being the herald of a deity? It is a great honor and a great responsibility. The herald is not always the strongest among a deity's servants, but the herald is always one who embodies the key principles of their faith. This means that I am bound to uphold the highest ideals of Iomade: righteous valor, justice, and honor. This is a tall order even for an angel, but I cannot falter in my duty even slightly. Therein lies my service to the goddess and the thousands of her faithful followers. What does a herald usually do? I serve as the hand and voice of the goddess, carrying out her will and delivering her message. When her radiance has no tasks for me, I'm occupied by the same duties as other warriors of heaven. I keep unfailing watch over the goddess's domain. I escort souls of the faithful to Pharasma's court, and then on their way onto their waiting afterlife. I also watch over the goddess's chosen when the opportunity arises. I descend into hell and engage in honest combat with the devils. It allows me to study their tactics. What is Iomade like? The herald chuckles softly. No doubt you're hoping to hear a tale of her untold divine might and the awe she elicits in those around her. Yes, this is true of the Inheritor, but it is also true that she seemed much closer and understandable to you than to others, such as myself, for example. Iomade was born an ordinary person in the cursed lands of Cheliax, and traveled a long road before she became the righteous Queen of Heaven, but she has never forgotten who she was before. I am older than my lady goddess, much older, and still I bow down before her foresight and wisdom. We are mortals, who spend much of our time on the outer planes, and sometimes struggle to comprehend the pain, fear, and joy that mortals feel. But not Iomade. She is as human as she is divine. Why is Heaven's host not aiding the Crusaders? you could have destroyed the world wound long ago. You cannot imagine how your question fills me with sorrow. My greatest desire since the day the world wound opened was to come here at the head of a light-bringing army to drive out the legions of darkness, to harry them until they were cowering in the farthest corners of the abyss. But alas, we, the first servants of the gods, are greatly restricted in what we could do. The Crusades of the Mortals battle for their own world. If I bring angelic forces here, it become a war between heaven and the abyss. Waves of power, magic incinerating everything within sight, armies of celestials and demons fighting in every corner of this world. The consequences would be horrific. Remember, everything you've seen up to now has been the work of only 3 demon lords, Discari and Baphomet, who are supported by Nocticula, the mistress of Guile. But in the Abyss, there are dozens of creatures with similar power. They are disunited and despise one another almost as much as they despise all that is light and righteous. But be sure that they will all not miss a chance to sink their teeth into heaven's throat. All the demon lords march into Glorian, it would be the stuff of nightmares, and it cannot be allowed to become a reality. If you can't interfere in the course of the crusade, why are you helping me? There's permissible interference, and then there's crossing the line. I was permitted to create the wardstones and give them to the Crusaders, offer my advice, and from time to time even appear on the battlefield myself to accompany several allies. This does not stray beyond the bounds of the Mortals' War. I could have been summoned with equal success by a faithful cleric. But the appearance here of heaven's multitudinous host in full force is another matter entirely. Alas, for now I can only offer you this, my presence and a small troop of my loyal soldiers. Well, thank you for your answers. I'm here to illuminate you, champion. I want to talk to you about angels. You have my full attention. How are angels made? Well, I assume when one angel loves another angel. Like other supernatural beings, who most often, though not always, are born from the souls of mortals, you must be aware of the grand laws governing the cycle of birth and death. After Pharasma's court, each mortal soul receives their merited afterlife. Hell in the Abyss, Heaven and Elysium. Each soul goes to the plane that called them in life. Called to them in life. But when they arrive at their destination, a different fate awaits each soul. Where evil will reign supreme, souls typically become commodities for prey, and a scant few are reborn as wicked fiends. In the planes of good, souls are destined for peaceful rest or great deeds in a new guise, such as the lot of angels. We're born from the souls of noble mortals. One soul or several, it can vary. Sometimes the gods can also create angels out of the essence of their plane, but this essence also contains fragments of good souls. What is the difference between angels and mortals? That is a question for sages and philosophers to debate. I am just a simple warrior. At the hand of the Inheritor's voice sounds cheerful, but becomes increasingly solemn as he continues. Although many supernatural beings are born from the souls of mortals, we are not mortals. We are cut from the cloth of the plane from which we originate. We are an idea made flesh. Many things mortals care deeply about mean nothing to us, such as time, for instance, or gender. Only a few of my kind see themselves as male or female. For the majority of angels, these words are meaningless. We can communicate with any creature without learning their language. We do not freeze in even the most terrible frost. We are different. We will never look down on mortals because of that. We will never ever stop praying for you, or protecting you. A dying angel appeared before me in the dungeons beneath Canabris. He left his flaming sword in the rubble there. The hand of the Inheritor hangs his head. I can guess who it was. Lario, my long-lost comrade and friend. He disappeared without a trace back in those dark days, when the world would open its jaws for a second time and swallowed up new lands. I mourn him as bitterly today as I did back then, but I also rejoice that he was able to call to us, to you, across the expanse of time. We lose old allies and gain new ones, and we will not surrender, no matter how great the losses, no matter how deadly the enemy. Tell me about the angel Targona, the one I rescued from Arilu's laboratory. Targona, my brave sister in arms, has returned to the halls of heaven now. Her imprisonment was a heavy burden for her. The corrupted wing that the witch Arilu rewarded her with is poisoning Targona's days with fear and worry. But she's being cared for by the finest healers in heaven. I have faith and hope that we'll be able to help her. In Canabris, I touched the wardstone and saw the angels trapped inside. The Herald of Iomedae gives a sigh beneath his helmet. It was a heavy decision for all of us. My mistress sent out a call to take a stand against the demons. Many angels of heaven answered it. We chose the noblest and bravest from among those who volunteered, to sacrifice their freedom for the sake of Golarion. We locked their souls inside the Wardstone. They were fated to stand guard there, inside the cold depths of stone, pitting their unbending will against creeping demonic corruption. But alas, the goddess and I failed to account for the weakness that lurks even in the best of us. Time has not been kind to my brothers and sisters. Despair has taken root in their souls, forcing them to act against their goddess and their calling. Thank you for finding a way to preserve the Wardstone, despite the fact that many of my brothers and sisters inside abandoned their vigil. I do not condemn them. I do not know if I could have withstood the demonic corruption if I had been in their place. It's missing a word. The Herald shakes his head despondently. Well, thank you. I found out everything I wanted to know. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, champion. Can you tell me anything about my power? I'm afraid not. Even I am not privy to all the workings of my radiant mistress. I believe that she has chosen you. I know that she watches over her chosen ones most attentively. She does not lead mortals by the hand, but allows them to prove themselves, to prove that they are worthy of her divine mercy. I am amazed by the form the divine gift has taken within you, but I am often surprised by mortals. What matters most is that you are leading the Crusaders to victory, and ridding Golarion of the world wound once and for all. While Iomedae was still mortal, she underwent the test of the Starstone and gained her godhood. It may well be that you're experiencing a similar trial, at the end of which you'll gain true righteousness and power. Alright, I have to go. Farewell. May Iomedae's light be with you. Oh, sweet. We've got an angel on our side. We also have a ton of stuff to sell. I have some stuff for my other companions. Oh, that's right. They all need to level up as well. So what does Greybor get? A Slayer talent and Quarry. Character can, as a standard action, denote one target within his line of sight as his quarry. He receives a +2 insight bonus on attack rolls made against his quarry, and all critical threats are automatically confirmed. The character can have no more than one quarry at a time. Athletics, mobility, and stealth. Dispelling attack, I guess. Which I guess I should read. So an opponent that is dealt sneak attack damage by a character with this ability is affected by a targeted dispel magic affecting one of the spell effects active on the target. The caster level for this ability is equal to the character's level. So Reginald is a Hell Knight, gets his last level of armor training. Knowledge Arcana, War Religion. Darren gets nothing. More spell slots. And here we'll grab Summon Elemental, I guess. She gets a new Hex. I have no idea what I'm going to grab for her next Hex. Those got major healing. So this Hex acts as Cure Serious Wounds using the Witch's caster level. Once a creature has benefited from the major healing Hex, it cannot benefit from it again for 24 hours. At 15th level, this Hex acts like a Cure Critical Wounds. Can't hurt to have. Legendary Proportions. Always a good spell to have on hand. Woljif gets nothing. Mobility, trickery, perception, use magic device, and stealth. Sure, I don't know. Just give him a bunch of self buffs. When do I get a bonus feat and the first level of bravery? Yep, that's her 4th level of bravery. Lower nature and perception. Improved critical for the throwing axe. Accumulated gets nothing. Trickery and perception. Alright, everyone's all caught up. Equipment wise, I don't think it really matters. Alright, that's an upgrade for him at least. It's really good on him. I forgot that I had these. Versus a breaching, who would this be good on? I don't think anybody. I think I'll just sell those. This doesn't really matter for anybody, does it? Because I'm not using a duelist, I can sell that. Again, prefer having cloaks of resistance over something like this. Saving throws are super important. Don't want to jeopardize those. Anybody have a belt? Or doesn't have a belt? Here we go. Perfect. Oh wait, I think Darren had a... Or he did. There we go. Alright, little upgrades. Nothing fancy. No one rages, we don't need that. I'm gonna hold on to this just in case it comes up later. Alright. Should get around the merchants one more time. Let's go to the Citadel for now and see about some decrees. We head to the Midnight Fane.
Follow my lead.
There's an unusual spring in the succubus's step today, and she has a mysterious smile on her lips that you can't recall seeing before. Oh, Desna, something truly miraculous happened to me. If only you knew. You're beaming with delight. You're beaming with delight. Yes, I've never been so happy before. I used to, and now I'm... No, wait. This doesn't feel right. Look, Ursula takes a few deep breaths, trying to calm down. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have barged in like that. We need to talk one-on-one. I'll be waiting for you at the tavern. The succubus runs off without giving you a chance to say another word. Airbeth looks a little puzzled, but salutes you as a protocol demands. Commander, you have a letter from Mendev. It was sent via the Church of Iomedae by a trusted courier from the Nerosian archives. It is sealed and signed by Inquisitor Leoder, and I was asked to deliver it to you personally. So that's what I'm doing. Airbeth hands you a sealed scroll. Why do you look so puzzled? I know Inquisitor Leoder very well. His nickname is Hawkblade for a reason. He works in the field. He does not deal with paperwork. I was wondering what he was doing in Nerosian, in the archives of all places. The most dangerous things the Inquisition can catch there are rats, not witches or cultists. On second thought, I don't want to know. I'm better off staying out of the Inquisition's business. Well, thank you, Erebeth. You can leave now. The Paladin salutes you and again leaves. Or, no. The Paladin salutes you again and leaves. There we go. Words are easy to get mixed up. Alright, so Leoder's letter. Esteemed Knight Commander, I'm writing to you regarding the case which you so graciously helped me to investigate. I hasten to inform you that I may have discovered something that will help us finally unravel the mystery of what happened in the place known to us both. It may also help to neutralize the source of this mystery. My current research compels me to take a short trip outside Mendev, but I'll return shortly and find you wherever you are that moment. I urge you not to take any further steps in this regard without me. The danger may be much more serious than both you and I presumed at the beginning. May the gods be with you, Leoder Hawkblade, servant of the people of Mendev and loyal inquisitor of our Lady Iomade. P.S. It is crucial that he's not suspect a thing. You know who I mean. Well, cool. At least we got an update on that quest. I do like how, I guess, like, spread out the companion quests seem in this game compared to, like, Kingmaker. It felt like they're a little bit more condensed. Nobles often look down on birthright. Nobles often look down on commoners, as aristocrats are taught from birth that they are better than the lowborn. This attitude causes quarrels between them and common warriors. The officers have asked the commander to intervene. This could backfire. It looks like it's not going to. Because what if, like, the nobles beat the commoners and it just reinforced that dynamic? But have the commoners and nobles compete in a tournament. Sela acted as the head judge of the tournament, where everyone is given a chance to prove their worth. The nobles went up against the commoners, and only strength and skill decided the outcome of each fight. But witnessing what common warriors were capable of, the aristocrats had no choice but to acknowledge their valor. The tournament served as a bonding experience for the Crusaders. The remains of the soul of Stefanius the Rotten are still locked within the shards of his phylactery. A dark ritual could awaken their power, or destroy them permanently. Well, that's pretty cool. But you have to fall below 0. That's interesting. I'm gonna go with this one. So yeah, Bane of Flesh. Once per day whenever your HP falls below 0, your HP is restored by twice your character level, and the ring summons 1 to 4 plus 2 undead skeletal champions around you for 2 minutes. Or Bane of Spirit. You bound a part of your soul to the ring. You gain a +4 bonus to saving throws against mind-affecting effects, emotions, confusion, fear, death, and compulsion effects, but a -2 penalty to saves against poison, elemental, paralyzing, and movement impairing effects. As a free action, you can lose HP equal to half your level to grant target creature a +2 bonus to attack rolls and transform their damage type into force for 1 round. And you don't lose that much HP. And actually, this would be really good on the main character, since we have the fast healing from the Sword of Valor. I'm gonna go with this one. By conducting rituals over the remains of the phylactery, wizards have ultimately killed the grains of the Dark Mage's spirit, freeing the death energy concealed within them. Vagrants. The crowd of the destitute, the sick, and the feeble-minded has arrived in Dresden. They're asking to be admitted. Their lives are rough. They have no place where they belong. They wish to die as heroes at the very least. But the Crusaders do not wish to fight side by side with these vagrants either. Decision without consequences. Just send them away. Yeah, we'll go with the set up a hospital. Crusade morale increases by 1. Materials points income increases by 5. Double plural. Brucheli set up a hospital for the poor souls in Drezen. The healers care for the sick. They help the supply units in gratitude. Everybody wins. Alright, we're gonna do this one. The Upcalessa's last wish was that her friends in Kyonin learn of her story. Commander's the only one who can recount its every detail. That's what she wanted, so we'll do it. Can I... Yep, let's strengthen the chain of command. Don't really care for more golems. Alright. As far as the quest goes, how do I ready up the Free Crusaders? Do I need to actually go to my floating island? Either way, we're going to rest up, and then we'll go speak to Brucheli in the next episode. Oh yeah, so I need to buy her thingy. It seems to me that in the First Crusade, there was more space for paladins and less for hired killers. However, there is a limited supply of do-gooders and fighters of conscience. That supply is used up quickly. Faith, hope, and love are what hold the world together, Greybor. But the only people who talk about the power of money are those who have no faith, no hope, and no love. I know from my own experience. Okay, we need to buy the Scroll Scriber kit, the improved one for what's-her-face. Did I quick save before an autosave? I don't want to speak to him this episode. Well, let's go and knock it out. Commander, permission to report. Captain Harbinan looks worried. The army's disposition is growing dangerous. More and more soldiers express their distrust towards you and your mythical powers. They grumble in their lack of understanding of where you're leading them, what your plan is. What's worse, the wary have once again emerged among the officers. They're adding fuel to the fires of sedition. We've already had cases of direct insubordination. You have to win back the trust of the soldiers forthwith, or else the army will be paralyzed. Some privates have already refused to march into battle. I suggest that we make your strategy clear by setting up a bulletin board. Okay. You can have a new statement with your name on it every week. Every 2 weeks, you can invite delegates from your soldiers to ask any questions they may have. Feels like the soldiers are discouraged and dismayed. We should embolden them by reminding them that the crusade is about more than just death and danger. This is a time of camaraderie and valor too. Maybe we could adorn the city with an inspiring monument or two. The kind that lifts your spirits whenever you walk by. Soldiers have the right to ask their generals questions. They have no right to disobey orders simply because their curiosity isn't being satisfied. They're committing sabotage, and the penalty for sabotage is a court-martial. We'll build new taverns for our soldiers, and pour them free beer on the commander's behalf. That's the easiest way to win their love. The wary again. I thought we took care of that problem. Not completely, apparently. The captain makes a helpless gesture. We haven't yet solved the main issue. Far too many officers still believe that the queen herself should be in charge of the crusade. No matter how many feats you've achieved, they still consider you an upstart. We'll have to do something about them soon. But the unrest among the soldiers is the most pressing matter at hand. If that's the case, should he put me in charge? So if this is the case, then... I don't know, that's weird. What do you think of the wary? They're your comrades in arms after all. I think of them as traitors, Commander. Harbinger replies quickly and firmly, but his expression darkens for a moment. Yeah, see, he's probably behind it. What is it exactly that my soldiers find worrying? Your mythical powers. Yes, they do secure us one victory after another. Even the most loyal troops raise questions from time to time. They wonder, what are you? Are you mortal like the rest of us? Or perhaps an emissary from other spheres? And if so, then which ones? Are you truly fighting for Crusaders' cause? Or do you have your own ulterior motives? All this paves the way for endless speculation. Let's discuss our options in further detail. As you command. Sela, what's your plan? I have doubts that explaining battle strategy will help our people in any way. They're fighting a brutal war, maybe the worst war in Galarian's history. They're exhausted and scared. If we want to help them, we have to give them courage. We're already making an effort, but I also suggest adorning our fortress with monuments. Not grim ones, but something heroic or uplifting. That way, soldiers who are about to march out, or have just marched in, go to smile at them like old friends. I had a marble friend like that once. The recruits in our order believed that rubbing the hilt of his stone sword would bring you good luck. Dismissing mutinous talk as exhaustion and lack of support is fundamentally wrong. Those few with conscience serve well and true as it is, without question. However, those who can afford to doubt and ignore their orders, or step away from becoming deserters, will remain deaf to any pleas and arguments, and even more so, to inspiring embellishments. Regil, what do you suggest? The insider's bodies hanging from the gallows will answer any and all questions. Sedition must be extinguished swiftly and mercilessly. It's absurd to even consider convincing or appeasing the doubtful. That can be more counterproductive. The sight of hanged bodies will absolutely stop the soldiers from asking questions, but it won't stop them from thanking them. For example, will they hang me next? Did I make a mistake by joining this army? Isn't it about time I made a run for it? Darren, your opinion, please. There's a centuries-old cure for grouches and complainers. Alcohol and a little cheer. We'll build more taverns, supply them with strong beer, and treat the soldiers once or twice, courtesy of the treasury. We'll leave their doubts behind in the blink of an eye, and proclaim you the best and most beloved commander who ever lived. I'll be the first to agree that taverns are a good thing to have, but they're not enough to support the army's fighting spirit. We don't give our soldiers something more than drinks. Our taverns will just become places to drown their sorrows, or vent their frustrations through brawls. Captain Harmodin, what would you advise? If the soldiers don't understand you, then you must bridge the gap between you and them. Create means of direct communication, so to speak. We'll set up a bulletin board that will simply put, keep everyone informed of the situation on the front, the basics of our strategy. In addition, we'll set up times when, once every 2 weeks, the soldiers can send delegates to you and ask any lingering questions. The general is under no obligation to report to their soldiers. You'll end up disputing your every word and second-guessing your orders before you know it. In some exceptional cases, the general may seek counsel from experienced veterans, but turning your headquarters into a thoroughfare is the surest way to destroy your authority. A bulletin board. Pray tell, how many of our soldiers can actually read? Maybe we should engrave this board with some obscene carvings. Then it'll at least be useful. Thank you. Everything is clear. So the soldiers don't know what's going on. That's not on me. There should be a chain of command, and there should be communication that trickles down from the top. Communication is super important in the military. So there's a lack of communication somewhere underneath my character, which I don't think my character is really strategizing. We're just kind of running amok and hoping for the best. But that's not on me. That's on the leadership between me and the soldiers that don't know what's going on. As long as I'm telling them what's going on, which I assume that I am. Yeah, let's do the taverns. Darren, arrange for new taverns for soldiers to be open in Drezen. Now there's a job for me. Let's see how many builders and overseers I can drive to their wits' end. Alright. I'm going to call it here. Off camera, I'm going to go buy that thing for Nenio so we can make better scrolls. And I am going to go park my character outside the tavern, and we'll speak to Rushalai in the next one. And then see about getting the Free Crusaders ready to march on the Midnight Fane. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.